Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare.
Thank you Matajis and Prabhujis. So we will listen to the Japa talk given by His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, and after that we will have some discussion. Any devotee would like to summarize volunteering? Nagalakshmi Mataji or Preeti Mataji? Any of you?
Yes, Prabhu.
Go ahead. This is a 8-minute talk. Probably it will take little more than usual time. So hope that is fine with all of you.
Hare Krishna. Whoever it be, whether one is Artha, Artharthi, Jnanasu, Jnani, anyone who is eager to acquire knowledge about Krishna and wishes to perform some pious activities in relation to Krishna, they are extremely fortunate because they are in the right direction and eventually they will get to the lotus feet of Krishna. Then the other 4 categories of people, Namam Dushkritanam Mudha, those hard-working asses, or uncivilized men, or misguided intellectuals, or outright atheists. Those 4 categories of people, they will never surrender to Krishna and they will go far, far away and remain absorbed in the nefarious activities. But there are others who are neither in the negative 4 categories, nor are they surrendering to Krishna or approaching Krishna. But there are people who appear to be faithful, having some Shraddha, but in demigods and in impersonalism. So Krishna says about them, he says that those are demigod worshippers. I give faith in their hearts towards those particular demigods, and I offer the gifts to those people through the agency of demigods. Actually, whenever we hear about demigods, we often immediately, our mind may brush it aside, thinking that I don't worship the demigods, I only worship Krishna. But actually, even people who are fans of cricketers, who are fans of very famous Hollywood, Bollywood cinema actors, or who are fans of great politicians, so such people also are counted amongst demigod worshippers. Because those charismatic personalities, they give them some reward. For example, cricketers bring success to the nation. Similarly, cinema actors and actresses give sense gratification to their senses. Similarly, politicians may award them a post in their party or offer some respectable position. So in this way, people are also kowtowing or following some small or big demigods, even in this world, whether in the higher planets or even on the earthly planet. Everybody is doing some hero worship. But Krishna very clearly says that those so-called heroes or demigods, along with their gifts, will be washed away by the power of time. Because this world is characterized by Srishti Pralaya, Srishti Pralaya, Srishti Pralaya, Bhutva, Bhutva, Praliyate. Everything will be finished. So the association with Krishna awards the jiva boundless bliss and personal association of Krishna. Whereas the worship of the demigods offers temporary fruits and eventually destruction. You will see, take one example for each, for Krishna, Rama and Narayana. You see, in the case of Krishna, Banasura joined hands with Shiva and tried to attack Krishna. Similarly, you will find Ravana worshipped Shiva and tried to attack Lord Rama. Hiranyakashipu, he worshipped Brahma and attacked Narayana, considered Lord Narayana his enemy. So you will see in this world, all the demigod worshippers, they have become anti-Vishnu. For example, one of the famous demigods in the modern times is the scientists. Even the Brahmana boys who start admiring the scientists as their heroes, they become atheistic and become anti-God. You can see that. Just like Hiranyakashipu is taking power from Brahma and trying to attack Vishnu. So therefore you will find all these demigod worshippers, they appear to be faithful, but where is their faith? They become anti-Vishnu eventually. And they become destroyed. Another category of Brahmavadis, or those who are impersonalists, they also have a lot of misunderstandings about the Lord. They consider the Supreme Lord to be having some material body like the ordinary jiva, or they think the Supreme Brahman has taken on a form temporarily. They think like that. So, due to all these things, Krishna says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah. So somebody may ask, oh Krishna, therefore you are not visible to them, you are covered over, so you have put a covering around yourself. Krishna says, no, I have not put a covering around myself, I have covered them and I hide away from them. He says, I hide away from them, I am not visible to them, I put a covering around them and I am not covered. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Krishna says, Arjuna, I know the past, present and future. Me, no one knows. Because these demigod worshippers and impersonalists, I put a covering over them. So, completely covered by illusion, they can't see me. They can't get access to me. So in this way, amongst the three categories of people we discussed, the four categories of non-surrenderers, those who are Namam Dushkritanam, Mudha and other people, or these impersonalists and demigod worshippers, none of these people get any access to Krishna. Only the four pious people, Artho, Jigyasa, Artharthi, Jnani, only they have access to Krishna. So at least they are seeking knowledge about Krishna, they are seeking to do some pious activities for Krishna, they may be seeking something from Krishna in the beginning. And in this way, it becomes very clear from Krishna's revelation of knowledge about what he wants us to be and how does he want us to approach him. And amongst them, the Jnanis and the Jignasus are the best. And amongst Jignasu and Jnani is the best. Jignasu is aspiring for the knowledge of soul and body, whereas the Jnani is approaching knowledge of the relationship of soul and supersoul. And he actually wants knowledge to please Krishna. He wants knowledge to understand Krishna. He wants knowledge to serve and satisfy Krishna. Therefore, Tesham Jnani Nityayukta Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Priyo hi Jnaninotyartam Aham Sacha Mama Priyaha. Like Krishna says. So in this way, in the chanting of the holy name, we should know in which category of worshippers we should be in order for us to become sufficiently pleasing to Krishna. We are rightly situated so that Krishna will consider looking at us, glancing at us mercifully, and he will lay us the road by which we can approach him, and he will give us the knowledge by which we can approach him. Dadami buddhyogam tam yenamam upayantite. So not only we should chant the holy name, initially it is all right to chant the holy name blindly also, unknowingly, even with ignorance one can chant. Like we say, even a fire touched by a child, it will have effect. But eventually, one has to have a clear knowledge of what am I doing while chanting, whom am I praying to, what should be my aspiration, what is right and wrong aspiration. These things are very important if we want to fine-tune the quality of our chanting and have the right approach to Krishna's lotus feet. Harinam Prabhu ki
Jai. Thank you, Matajis and Prabhujis. So, Preeti Mataji, can you please summarize?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What I could understand from this verse, Prabhuji, he was saying, he was talking about 4 people who would get the mercy of Lord, and 4 people who won't get the mercy of the Lord. There are in between people who have some faith and Shraddha, and they are demigod worshippers. Because this demigod worshipper, I only give them faith in their heart to get their material benefits, and the gifts which are given may be washed away by the power of time. But those who are associated with Krishna will have a boundless personal association of the Lord. There will be temporary fruitative benefit for those who are praying for the demigods, and they may not. They will be covered. What he said was for the impersonalist and those who are atheists. On one more category he said was the scientists who become atheists and anti-God and lose faith, and they will be covered by he was saying, so that they cannot access Krishna. Though he knows the past, future, present of everyone. Those who are non-surrenders will never reach me. Then again he was telling about the yesterday's discussion, same Prabhuji, where he was saying about the Jnanis who are seeking the soul and the super soul to please Krishna, to serve Krishna and to satisfy Krishna. And he says chanting remains the only way, and there might be different ways of chanting. Initially you may start chanting as a small child chants with some ignorance, but later on when you improvise in chanting what is right and what is a right way of chanting, and what is the inspiration and what is my goal of the chanting, so there we advance into Krishna consciousness. That is what he was saying, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Fantastic. Very nicely you have summarized. So, few questions. Probably we can have some discussion on this. So, one of the questions that I had in my mind, which I have also posted, is that so why we should respect these demigods? Are we supposed to respect them? If so, in what consciousness we are supposed to respect these demigods? Demigods here in this context, not Varuna, Indra, Brahma, Shiva, not just that. I am talking in terms of the social order. If you see, there are some leaders, political leaders who are, and some stars, cine stars. What are we supposed to do with them? and what kind of a relationship we should have, what kind of consciousness we should have, and so yeah. So in one way, why should we respect demigods, and if so, in what way? Go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhuji, from the talk also, Prabhuji was saying that like Ravana has taken the help of Shiva to destroy Rama, or Hiranyakashipu has taken shelter of Brahma to destroy Narayana. That would be all temporary only. Even those cricketers or leaders or politicians, that will be only temporary, and it will be more destroying only. So what he says was, the faith I create for the worship of demigods to attain that material thing. But we get attached to the iconic figures and follow in such a way that we start to imitate them and try to talk or behave the way they do, like those stars or politicians. So that should be condemned.
Thank you, Mataji. So, any other devotee would like to add why we should respect these demigods and with what consciousness we should see them?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Demigods are our mediators to between Krishna and devotees. They are mediators, and they are also praying to Lord, Supreme Lord. Even Shiva also big Vaishnava. He is a devotee of Supreme Lord. So we have, this is the...
Yes, very nice, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, so the question was that should we respect the demigods? So I remember the Shishtastakam prayers where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Amanina Manadina. So basically we should give respect to everyone. And when it comes to
Mataji, we lost you.
and they might be materialistic and things like that, have been awarded with few things. Oh, Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good now.
Hello?
We just missed the previous one. Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, so the demigods or the leaders which we see, the political leaders or icons, so they have been awarded with few opulences by Krishna. So they must have some pious credits in their previous life because of which they have got it. So we need to respect that, and even like we should understand that everything which is coming, the talent which is coming is from Krishna. So we should see Krishna. If we are seeing someone very intelligent like scientists, so the source is Krishna. If we are seeing someone very beautiful like a actress, then we should see, oh, this is actress is so beautiful, imagine how much Krishna would be beautiful. So we can see Krishna everywhere. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Fantastic. Any other devotee would like to add? Yeah, you summarized very nicely. Thank you. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Demigods and all, like the cricketers and great heroines and all, they will bring some prestige to the country so that economic development is possible. And these actors and all, they will bring some happiness to some people. So they are also, their part is also there, but they will be, anyway, in spiritual sense, they will be bhutva bhutva praliyate. They will be taking birth again and again. But we have to respect because they are part and parcel of Krishna, and moreover, everything is coming from Krishna only. Anything related to Krishna, we have to respect. So we should respect him.
Very nice. Thank you so much. So as all of you have really brought in that central idea that these demigods are bestowed that whatever opulence that they have and whatever opulence they give to others, they can go till the extent of material only. So they cannot go beyond. Exceptions one or two times when you go to a demigod, especially in the history we have seen that if suppose you go to Shiva, sometimes usually people go for material benefits only. But if you go and ask, give me something beyond this material realm, then they can direct you. But very rarely that happens. But it has happened in the history that Shiva has given Krishna Prema to one devotee when he came to Shiva, because he was a worshipper of Shiva. So that can happen, but so we should not per se go to demigods, as an intermediate also. There is no need. You can directly approach Krishna. Why? You have access. Why should you go via route? Not required. So because you may get misled, that is there. But again, we have to respect all the demigods, including all the people in the political area or in the other areas, because they have come to a stage without the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They could not reach that. So that way we have to see that Krishna's mercy is there, so we are also supposed to respect them. So thank you so much, Mataji, for bringing that out. Any other point that you liked in today's discussion? One of the things that I felt which we can also emphasize is that what is the difference between this Jignasu and Gnani was touched today also. Could somebody recollect what was that? Anybody?
Prabhuji,
Yeah, Malti Mataji, can you go ahead after that?
Prabhuji, Jignasa, they understand the difference between the body and the soul level only. Whereas Jnani, they will understand, or they will compare the relation between, or they understood the constitutional position between the soul and the super soul. And also they maintain the loving relationship between the Lord. And whereas Jignasa, they'll just know, because of the inquisitive nature, they just understand, they have such kind of education about the difference between, or what is the body and the soul. That is the difference.
Yes, very nice. One last devotee, anybody? Yes, somebody was saying something, no? Okay. Was it Megha Shukla Mataji or somebody? Okay. Yeah, anybody would like to give your viewpoint, because this is a kind of very important topic, important point that we can stress upon. What is the basic difference between?
Maybe
yes.
I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Mata. Go ahead.
So Jignasu would be the starting stage where you just want to know what is what, who am I, what is soul. But Dhyani is an advanced stage where you have realized the difference between body and soul, and you just want to gain that knowledge to understand Krishna, to serve Krishna, and to establish the relationship with Krishna.
Very nice. Can somebody remember the Vedanta Sutra aphorism on this? Vedanta Sutra?
Jnani wants to go back to Goloka and they knew the truth about this material world. Jignasa people can understand what is the soul and what is the body.
Yes.
They knew that much only.
So one Yashoda Mataji, you remember the Vedanta Sutra associated with
Vedasya sarve ahameva vedya.
Oh, that is there. But with respect to the qualification of a Jignasa, so you remember that Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atato Brahma Jignasa is the preliminary first level qualification for you to really qualify yourself that I am a human body, I am a human being. So that Jignasa, if it is not there, you are not even qualified as a human being. So if you are saying that I am a human being, that means to set that you need to have that Jignasa. So as Megha Shukla Mataji rightly mentioned, it is the first level that each one of us should go through, but you should not stop there. What happens is that if you are a Jignasa, the tendency is that yes, let me just check what it is, and then don't go to the next level. So you need to be Jignasa, that is the first level, but take up to the next level also. Don't limit yourself to know the difference between what is soul and what is body, and limit there. Go to the next level to understand who is the Supreme Lord, what is the absolute truth. Go in depth. That is what is very important. And the very important thing is that why is that this Jignasa is there, and what is the end result. So that if you also understand, why am I doing this knowledge inquiry? It is to understand the Supreme Lord, and when I get connected to the Supreme Lord, I will get my constitutional position, that is to serve the Supreme Lord. and be in that loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. So that understanding, if you can develop, that is where you are going closer to Krishna, and Krishna is going to bestow his mercy on you because you are endeavoring for it, you are desiring for it. See, he is not partial towards certain people, because you are desiring that he is going to give you. If you are interested only to sense gratification, okay, then he says that, okay, I am giving you a body where you can do whatever amount of sense gratification you want to do it. So he is very merciful in that way also. So yeah, any one last devotee would like to summarize this last point with your understanding? We'll close then.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, regarding his covering, he is not, he will not give his darshan to the these people. He is telling 2 points. He is telling he covers them, and again he is telling he will be covering himself from them.
So this point we did not cover actually. This is one point which was not covered in our entire discussion. Mataji very nicely brought in that. So why does Krishna cover their understanding? Can somebody tell? Because if he wants to reveal, he could have revealed to everyone. Why is that he is not revealing it to everyone? So he is kind of covering them, and because he is there in the Paramatma form in our heart also, in each and everybody's heart. But why is he covering for few? Anybody would like
because,
to?
Prabhuji, because we have that free little independence, we are not want Krishna to be revealed. So, as seated in a Paramatma, whatever the understanding of that person, Krishna will give that faith, that covering, so that until up to that point only the person will understand or don't understand.
So you are saying more or less the individual soul, individual person is not desiring for it. That is the reason why he is covering. Is that what?
One of the reason, Prabhuji.
Okay,
one of the
okay. Any other reason? There is one more very important reason also.
Ye yathamam prapadyante. So the level of surrender. So I just take that meaning that if a thief believes that there is no God, so Krishna says, so be it. So
again, this is coming to the point of your desire only. What is Krishna's reason? Very important reason. Krishna is covering for a higher reason. Yes, if you are not desiring, you will not get.
One who leave their ego and surrender to God.
Okay. That is also there. That is true. Because I am desiring to surrender, then again it is personal only. One last thing. So, any one attempt, any devotee would like to do?
Prabhuji, he want to know us, Prabhuji. Like he want to approach him. We need to learn, and he want us to learn and know the things and understand him. We need to we should put prayasa that, then at that time he will understand. So
okay, so the what one senior acharya Vaishnava was mentioning, that why this covering Krishna does is for the reason that he doesn't want the pure devotees to get disturbed. Unnecessarily they will create havoc if they are not purified. So if you just remove that covering, right, they will come and confuse the others and disturb the others. So to make the devotees be in their spiritual pursuit, Krishna puts that covering. You know what? Why Shankaracharya was brought in? Shankaracharya came for that reason only, to separate these Mayavadis. He came and separated them. Okay, this is what you feel, that there is no Supreme Lord and there is no Krishna, and you don't want to worship them. You wanted to be in the impersonal form. Okay, be it. Go. You don't disturb these people again. So that we peacefully can practice our sadhana and seva and swadhyay. So that way he is covering them such that we don't get disturbed. So that is the reason why Krishna is doing. One of the reasons, because he wants his devotee to get protected. He get protected at this level also, not at the physical level, not just that. At this level also he wants to protect. So is that argument
Prabhuji,
sensible?
can you give an example of how, if the covering is removed about God, how would they disturb the devotee?
So if suppose covering is removed in the sense, as you all said, you are not desiring for it, so internal purification has not happened, but still you are coming and putting the grab of a devotee. Is it not going to create a havoc in the society? And the actual pure devotees will be punished for no reason, because these people are coming and in the grab of a devotee they are coming, but purification has not happened. So that is what it is. Make sense, Mataji? Not yet?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
So in one way what you said is correct. If you remove the covering, everybody will become a devotee. Why is that Supreme Lord not allowing that to happen? So unless and until that internal purification will happen, till that time, you see, bhakti is not cheap. It just cannot come to you in your plate, served to you. You have to struggle for it. You have to endeavor for it. And that endeavor, that struggle is the purification that is going to happen. So it is not cheap that, okay, one shot Krishna says that everybody becomes devotee. No, it is not cheap. And so it has to be, you have to gain the trust of the Supreme Lord, you have to work for it, and all this process is there, and the simpler process in Kali Yuga, but in other yugas it is very tough. But we are very fortunate that we are come to Srila Prabhupada, who made much more simpler to us so that we can advance quickly. So we are very merciful, we have to pay our gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada. If not, this knowledge, this faith that we have cultivated so far would have not been cultivated. Just because of his mercy we are getting it. What are we actually? So we will end this discussion here. Thank you so much for participating, Matajis and Prabhujis. So we will meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is Janmashtami. So, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay. So, yeah, anyways, we will meet, and please submit your offerings. What we can also do is that one day, if you can write your offerings to Srila Prabhupada, whatever your feelings are, we can share it with this group like this. We will have a time that we can schedule so that you can submit your offerings to the link that was sent to you, and in addition to that we will have you read and share in this group also. Is that okay, Matajis?
Yes, Prabhu, one day we will keep for that.
Yeah. So see, this is a very important exercise. I know it is not easy to come out and write our gratitude. Not easy because we are still in our own covering, our own cocoon. We don't want to come out and give that gratitude. It happened to me, and it is happening to me. So, but we have to endeavor. We have to do this so that whatever little we have gained, so give that little credit to our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Maharaj, whosoever we are aspiring from or are initiated from. So that credit can also go to them, but right now we are going to give our offerings to Srila Prabhupada. So please kindly do that. So you can send it to me if you want, or you can directly share it in the group when we do the discussion. Thank you, Matajis. Please forgive me, we have exceeded our time, and tomorrow morning we will meet again. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Harinam Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.